One lonely day, I was so down, there was nothing to live for, nothing to say. Talk about love, you wanna talk about pain. Talk about times when your heart hurts so bad, you know the love is insane.
Welcome to LA Art and Music. We have a wonderful show for you today. We have vibrational artist Tim Taylor and the aggressively acoustic sounds of Sally Landers and the Fixations. So I think, why don't we get right into it? This is Tim Taylor. You bill yourself now as a vibrational artist.
More or less, that's probably the easiest way to determine what I do.
And what does that mean? Where did you come up with this word?
Vibrational art is my own creation. It's a combination of spiritual and scientific information, you might say. Different precepts combined with all of the colors and textures. And basically the way I perceive it is the energy is being expressed on a canvas in different layers. As energy vibrates faster and faster, it becomes more dense, becoming material, physical objects. And the work itself, the paintings, illustrate that. And with the very bright colors, it also determines the joyous consciousness of the energy itself.
So basically from the thought that all energy, be a stool that you're sitting on, or an emotion, has a vibration behind it.
Absolutely.
And you're bringing this out in your art.
Yes.
Well, as you can see, we have some of Tim's pieces here behind us. And Tim is going to continue work on his piece while we talk.
So you might need to stand clear just in case you don't want to get paint on your clothes.
We're going to give a little history of Tim while we get ready here. Tim, at 6 years old, you developed polio.
Yes. It was just prior to the polio vaccine coming out on the market. It was released by the Food and Drug Administration, I'm told, about 6 weeks after I got it.
Oh.
So
that's timing.
Let me just move this. The timing, you know.
But it seems right now the timing is working very well for you.
Well, that's something we have to create for ourselves.
And with the polio, you have minimum use of your hands?
I'm not able to use the left at all, and I have very minimal of the right hand.
So your painting and all your preparation and all is basically, not basically, but totally used with your feet?
Yes. What I've prepared here so that we can show the audience is some colors in the blues and violets that are already evident in the base of the painting.
Do you have a title yet for this piece?
No, actually, and because of the size of this piece, we've only brought half of the painting.
Oh.
The other half of the piece is with oranges and yellows and turquoise. And this is popcorn, by the way. And I'm going to be adding some of this to give a more dense texture.
So you just added right into the paint and all?
Yes.
That's great. Yeah, how do you decide what materials you're going to be using on the pieces?
It's a very conscious decision, 99% of the time.
You can see in your head what you do want this whole canvas to look like in advance.
Yes, it doesn't come out always exactly the way I envision it, but pretty much so.
Life very rarely does, actually.
Pretty much. The thought process for this is really quite lengthy.
You spend a lot of time beforehand preparing, deciding what materials would be used?
Oh, yes. Sometimes 4 to 6 weeks before I actually begin work.
Really?
Because I'm visualizing a lot of it. Visualization is extremely important in anything we do in our lives. And I think especially so for a visual artist as myself.
Yeah.
So I'm looking in my brain at different things that I want to put into it, and I'll see myself adding things to the paint. I'll visualize the end product, how the colors will blend, different things like that.
So how do you decide, though, going back to material, popcorn?
Well,
something like that.
One time, actually, I was so limited with my funds, I didn't have any supplies left. And that's how the popcorn came out. I was making something to snack on, and I thought, gosh, my priority is really my work here. It's not food. So
That's great. Poverty has a lot of...
popcorn ended up on the painting instead of in my stomach.
Oh. So from one little mistake of poverty...
Well, it was also, that's a little facetious, but it was also because I thought that the popcorn would give, in a sense, a potential explosive impact
So every
to
material...
what I was envisioning for the painting. So there are very often symbolic reasons for some of the materials I use.
What are some of the materials in this piece now?
Oh, heavens. This has upholstery fabric in it. It has shredded palm fronds. It has metal lath. This wire mesh, this is all metal lath. Silica sand. It has some chicken wire in it.
And the colors that you pick mixed with the materials, each color, does that transpose to a certain emotion?
Those generally correspond to the different chakras or the energy levels in the body as they move up the spine.
So then a lot of your inspirational comes from a religious, well, not so much religious, but a philosophy?
It's not a philosophy, it's a religious,
It is from religion.
or spiritual precept. It's basically a scientific fact, as the ancient rishis of India have discovered over the centuries.
Yeah.
And we're calling it all new today, but it's not.
It's New Age that
not
has
at
been
all.
around for years.
For millenniums.
Yeah. Now you're finally getting some recognition for your work.
Yes.
You're being represented by the LA Museum of Modern Art, is it?
The LA County Museum.
LA County Museum, and
Yes,
you're in their
on Wilshire.
rental gallery.
Yes, the Emerging Artists Program.
Yeah, that's wonderful. See, I read a lot of your bios, and I know that a lot of them tend to focus a lot on the polio and how you've gone on after that. And it seems now with this new, with the LA Museum, that now it's your art that's going to take the forefront.
Well, that would certainly be nice,
That is yeah.
to leave the negative things behind and work on all the positive things in my life.
Or is it necessarily a negative, or just how you...
Well, it was certainly
Developed.
negative the way that the medical field viewed it years ago.
That's true.
And we take too much, we put too much importance upon our bodies, and although health is important to be
Yeah.
happy, it's more important to think about our inner life,
Yeah.
and then that expresses itself in what we do.
And you spend a lot of time in your life moving on from those images, haven't you? You even joined a health
We
spa
have to. Oh, yes.
in West Hollywood.
Yes, the athletic club.
That's
So
great.
I've been there now for 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And I do the Stairmaster religiously.
And that helps you
That
with
helps
developing
my
strength.
breathing.
The breathing. So also
Yes.
for the meditation and for visualizing.
Absolutely.
It's wonderful. And also, you joined you were in the Strasbourg Theater. You were the first person with disabilities to join the Strasbourg
Yes.
Theater? Tell me
Yes.
about that. How did they view it when you first came in? Were they holding back from you, or?
No, they simply hadn't thought about it before, I think.
I think that's what the majority of people go through. And then you joined them just to learn. Well, originally you did stage design.
Yes, and interior design and landscape design.
And that's where you get a lot of your view for
Oh, these
texture.
these are massive landscapes to me, just on a controllable scale here.
You also do some landscapes. Have we shown those on the video? Have those come up on the video?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, great.
One of them.
Great.
That one's now in Switzerland.
And you just got a grant from Switzerland.
Yes.
And the title of that grant?
Well, it's the Association for Handicapped Artists. It's based outside of Zurich. There are only 300 members in the world, and
What's
I'm
the
very
requirement for-
privileged. You either have to paint with your mouth or with your feet. Those are the only qualifications, plus being working toward a professional career as an artist.
And you definitely are working in that field. It's great. And this is wonderful. It's like you've brought your whole studio here and working. What about these pieces behind us?
Well, this is a completed one. I'm probably in the way of it here.
Well, let me step out a little bit. So does this have a title, too?
Yes, it's called The Grotto.
And what is it representative of in your emotions? Or?
Well, again, it's a form of abstract expressionism, but this has colored tissue paper, eggshells, sand, volcanic rock, acorns, many different things in it, all expressing the vibrational art technique.
I love the spread of color that you put into it.
Took about 3 months to finish. So they're very time-consuming, really.
Because each piece you do, you sort of build on it. You
Yes.
put down a layer and then build upon it constantly.
Yes, that's the way the energy works. It sort of weaves itself like a tapestry.
Uh-huh.
Whenever our thoughts come into our mind, they generate energy.
Okay, well, we'd like to read this poem that you've written. To close
Well,
with this
I'll leave
poem.
that to you while I'm working, if you don't mind.
No problem.
Okay.
It's called Invocation. You wrote it after you spoke to 5 other artists with various disabilities.
Yes.
And then you wrote this. As I sit and invoke inspiration in my search for perfection and truth, to create what is lost of my glory and refashion my beauty and youth, with my heart's inner light as my north star, help me style my vision of gold, to tell the whole world of my story and to give joy to both young and to old. But my eyes and my ears do deceive me as I work to describe what I feel. My heart cries with pain and frustration, then I screamed, you must show me what's real. But alas, there was nothing but silence. My joys and ambitions had died. All my hopes and my dreams, now confusion, and I fell on my pillow and cried. As I lay all alone in the stillness, there came a voice soft as a dove. My child, you must wake, you are dreaming. Do not cry or have fear, I am love. You may be what you will, you're an artist. All who say you are not, they do lie. For they live in dark halls of delusions and look not to the heavens on high. Now describe what you feel and be joyful. Where you seek has no boundaries, no rules. Your canvas and clay are your workbench. Your paints and your pencils, your tools. Use your heart as your compass to guide you as you search throughout uncharted lands. Know, my child, I will be right beside you to inspire and to guide through your hands. May your mind concentrate on all beauty. May your heart feel the spark of your soul. Be your dreams realized in full glory till you reach heaven's gate, your goal. So we want to thank Tim Taylor for bringing his work down and for showing us his feelings, his emotions through his art. Thank you very much. And stay with us now while we wait for Sally Landers and the Fixations.
My name is Norma Connolly. I play Aunt Ruby on General Hospital. I have a message for you that I think is very important. AIDS destroys more than an individual's health. It can leave even the most successful person financially devastated. Since 1983, Aid for AIDS has been dedicated to providing rental assistance, medical insurance premiums, and transportation for people living with AIDS. Our clients need your help. So that deserving people won't be turned away, contact Aid for AIDS.
Persuade you to believe what you should know. I cannot release you when you say you won't let go. Why are we still standing here surrounded by our dreams? Why is understanding so much harder than it seems? You can't lead me to utopia or lead me to the brink. Double up the innuendo. Keep me guessing what you think. You move me around your circle, always searching for an end. Your pleasure's my deciphering these messages you send. How can I keep giving when I've nothing left? utopia. Oh, lead me to the brain. Double up the innuendos. Leave me guessing what you think. Move me round your circle, always searching for an end. Your pleasure's my deciphering these messages you send. When you're through pretending, I'll be on the other side. How do you respond? Hey, who the hell gave you the right? Can't leave you utopia, lead me to the brain. Double up the innuendo, guessing what you think. You have children with your silence, left me wondering what else. You have raised me from the inside, left me hanging from a cliff. I will leave you and your suffering. I know now it will not end. I am finally done deciphering these messages you send. Yeah, can't leave me utopia. Yeah, can't leave me utopia. Can't leave me utopia. Late at night as I stumble in, hear a voice with the way you've been. Played late and it went well, but my voice is hoarse and my fingers swell. That's alright, it's what love is for. So turn out the light and lock the door. In the rhythm of my heart's desire, we can find the flame and release this fire. And the world is falling, I'll be by your side. Just remember, no one knows you quite like I. Not a light in the middle of the night, burning bright like a fire in our eyes. Not a light in the middle of the night for me. Not a light in the middle of the night, burning bright like a fire in our eyes. Not a light in the middle of the night for me. And now the story changes. Late at night someone stumbles in. I hear myself asking where you've been. Oh, come on, you know me all too well. I can never be with someone else. That ain't right, I can plainly see. You've been with someone and it wasn't me. It's hard to stand with a heart of lead. I can still remember every word you said. The world is golden, I'll be by your side. Just remember, no one knows you quite like I. Not a light in the middle of the night, burning bright like the fire in our eyes. Not a light in the middle of the night for me. Not a light in the middle of the night, burning bright like a fire in our eyes. Not a light in the middle of the night for me. Not a light in the middle of the night, burning Light a light in the middle of the night, burning bright like a fire in our eyes. Light a light in the middle of the night, oh. I'll light a light in the middle of the night if you come home tonight. You know I'll light a light in the middle of the night if you come home tonight. You know I will.
All right. Sally Landers and the Fixations. Well, let me just get this out here. And I guess we'll begin by introducing everyone. On vocals, we have Sally Landers.
Hi, how you
That's the
doing,
name. Hi. Bass, Eileen Cuisine. And I'm totally covering our drummer here. That's Michelle Mangione.
You got it.
And something that a lot of bands don't have, a sign language interpreter, Christy Arnett. All right.
Our very own personal interpreter.
That's great. Well, then let me start with that then. Who decided, because I know all of your stage shows, everything you do is interpreted.
Yeah.
How did you decide to go about doing that?
We just kind of hooked up. It was it was a mutual thing. It really was. I was interpreting at a production going on.
Uh-huh.
Sally's band was playing there. We started talking and how much she really enjoyed it. And I started telling her my ideas about performing with the band, and we've been working together ever since. I started going to their gigs, and she asked me to interpret, so we've been keeping it going. It's really worked.
That's great, because a lot of people don't realize that the deaf community and the hearing impaired, they do enjoy the music.
Yeah, there's
So this is
quite a
great.
few.
Yeah, you're opening it up to a whole new
Yeah.
group
It
of
also adds
fans.
a dimension to people who do hear perfectly well. I mean, it's interesting
Yes.
to watch. I
Yeah.
find it
Yes, it
interesting
becomes
to
very
watch.
visual. It is. It
Yeah.
does. It adds, instead of just sitting back and enjoying the music, it becomes a visual thing.
Yeah,
to
there's
watch
another
also.
scope there. In fact, I think it makes people pay attention more to what Sally's saying and listening to everything about the music.
I
a
know
little
I
bit
do.
more. Yeah.
Well, how long
I
have you
hope.
all been together as a band? All of you began at the same time together?
Well, it differed people at different times, a little over a year.
Michelle, if you want to come up and join us, because you're kind of hidden back there. You comfortable?
Yeah.
We'll leave it back there, okay? So how many years have you been together?
As it stands like this in this group, about a little over a year.
Yeah.
But most of us have been playing in one form or the other for better part of a decade.
Really, in different bands and all?
Oh yeah.
What has your history been?
Quite a few years.
With a lot of different bands.
How many years?
Yes, we do.
Occasionally.
Because I know that you're getting a lot of recognition now. You performed at the Roxy,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I was lucky enough to catch that show, and I enjoyed
I remember.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a great show. Then who put this band together? Who got together first? Or how did you all meet?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, I got a call, and somebody was looking for a drummer, and we kind of clicked in terms of the music that I heard was Sally's writing. I really, I liked
So
it.
Sally
we got, yeah.
Sent you a tape?
No, actually, we got together. I just got a call, and she had some gigs happening, and so she called me up, and I said, let's hear the music, and I like the music, so we got together and just started playing immediately.
The two of you got together and then
Yeah.
you found Eileen?
And we
Joined
found-
in?
We found her,
we-
Well, I've worked with Eileen before a number of times, and the fabulous Miss Cuisine. She's great to work with. She's an excellent bass player.
And you write a lot of your own music?
All
Is
the
it a-
originals are ours, which makes a lot of sense. We do most originals.
You write only the originals, right? Okay, that's good. Do you do most of the writing? Is it a group thing with all of you?
The songs on our first release I wrote, but all of us write, and we're going to be doing a lot of Michelle's songs too also. So there's a lot of material here yet to be tapped, and we've got a lot of songs coming up.
So, and you've got some CDs coming up? You've got
Yeah.
taping?
Yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff coming out.
Great. And any dates, quickly? Any dates that the audience is going to want to see?
Tuesday.
This Tuesday, I don't know if
Tuesday.
we're doing a Cal State Los Angeles gig, and we're going to be headlining at the Troubadour in February '93, so you can look for that.
Well, we are. We're going to look forward to seeing that. And then we want to thank you for joining us today at LA Art and Music, and join us again next time.
Yeah.
house are down, there was nothing to live for, nothing to say. Talk about love, you wanna talk about pain. Talk about times when your heart hurts so bad, you know that love is insane. And now and night after night, day after day, holding my breath every step of the way, week after week, month after month, but I never really knew what it was. Want your love, want your love. Don't wanna fight it, don't wanna lose it. I can't deny it, I can't refuse it. Want your love, want your love. Time heals the wounds, ain't that what we say? But when the hands don't move, emotional decay. Talk about love, you wanna talk about pain. Talk about times that were said we would always be one and the same. And now and night after night, day after day, holding my breath every step of the way, week after week, month after month, but I never really knew what it was. Want your love, want your love. Don't wanna fight it, don't wanna lose it. I can't deny it, I can't refuse it. Want your love, want your love.